I can't wait for it to be picked up and start to move.
In just 2 weeks, this fragile 2-story log house in Aspen, Colorado must be cut apart and put on wheels without completely destroying the house.
The way this wood fits together like a Lincoln log home is a perfect fit. You don't want to mess up the structural integrity.
Jill Winkler is taking a chance on hauling this log house 9 miles through the tourist-packed streets of Aspen to a lot just outside of town.
We've got open space everywhere. We're on the mountains. You know, you have a bad day, go outside, look at the view.
And for Jill and her son Lars, this 1,800 square foot, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home is a dream come true.
I have a 4-year-old to raise. I needed a house.
But this house was scheduled for demolition.
It was going to be torn down to bring in a new house, and I asked if I could move it.
The homeowner liked the idea of saving the house so much, she gave it to Jill for free.
Totally recycling so that it wouldn't end up in the dump.
And moving this house is the only way this single mom
You're the best.
can afford to have a home of her own near the upscale mountain town of Aspen.
Prices are really, really high here.
And it's an incredible home.
There's beams and rafters and hardwood floor and windows, light, 2 balconies with awesome views. This is tremendous beamwork. This is all log that, you know, is really hard to find anymore. I enjoy this tile. It's a glass, rainbowy, kind of carnival glass looking tile. I think it's unusual, which makes me enjoy it a whole bunch. We'll have this house for the rest of our lives. It's home.
But even though the house is free, the move is not.
$150,000. I think it's worth it. For all the character and style, yeah.
Moving the house will take 2 full days, and it's a daunting task most people wouldn't take on.
Every man I've met said, I wouldn't do this. There's a lot to do.
To start, they must cut the fragile 2-story log house apart.
Our width is going to be a factor.
And the home must be divided into 6 separate pieces,
This is probably the most sections I've ever cut a house into.
just so the house can move through the narrow, tourist-packed streets of Aspen.
Cutting it is just about the only option to get through there.
We don't know what we're getting into until it comes apart.
After the house is cut apart, each piece must be airlifted onto a trailer by crane without destroying the log walls.
The top portions come off first.
That creates the possibility of the walls coming apart, buckling in, blowing out.
Once on the road, things only get tougher.
Aspen's really crowded. The traffic is pouring in on 2-lane roads, backed up for miles every day.
And all 6 pieces of the house must navigate through the famous Aspen roundabout without causing a traffic jam.
The roundabout connects 3 different roadways and keeps it flowing.
We have a section that's going to be about 20 feet wide, and the road is 20 feet wide, so it's going to be tight.
Then, all 6 pieces of the home must clear a narrow bridge without stopping oncoming traffic or hitting the high arched walls.
Those bridge walls are pretty tall.
We're going to have inches to spare on each side.
To go above the bridge, it's going to be tight. Once it's past that country bridge, then we're home free.
And to pull it all off, the house must move before the height of summer tourist season in Aspen.
This place will be flooded with tourists. We're not out of the way. We've just doubled our challenges.
And time is running out.
We're in such a time rush.
I feel pressure already.
There are less than 2 weeks left to move the house before it's torn down, and it still must be cut apart. But first, this patio must be sacrificed,
We weren't going to use the patio room. It was non-heated.
and it must come down to clear the way for cutting.
We want to get it out of here. We don't have barely enough room to breathe.
I'm just really hoping that all the windows and doors can be saved for the new breezeway that we're building.
We have to demo the inside of this room too.
The walls and everything.
Tearing into the patio could damage Jill's bathroom next door.
Everything in this area will be affected.
Maybe a little vibration might bring up the tile. You might get some damage.
I want you to try to save everything.
demolition is slow going. And saving Jill's windows and doors takes 2 full days.
One wall down.
The patio is finally down.
Let's get this cleaned up here.
Everything looks good. They were able to save a lot of windows and doors.
With the house ready for cutting, there's no turning back now.
We can't stop. We have a time frame that we have to get done, and we have to be out of here.
I am stressed. We need more time to do everything.
Cutting the house could destroy it.
A little emotionally draining. Yes, it's taking a toll.
And come move day,
Woo! My house is loose.
the whole thing could come crashing down.
That doesn't look big enough to hold it.
Whoa, hey, you're all right, come on. Come on, straight out, straight to me.
In just 10 days,
We're moving a house. This is cool.
this fragile 2-story log home in Aspen, Colorado must hit the road.
Home. That's our home. All the woodwork, hardwood floor, wooden ceiling with beamwork. I think it's awesome, and it's going to be really nice when it's done.
Jill Winkler got the log house for free because it was going to be torn down to make way for a new home.
I asked if I could move it.
And moving this house is the only way Jill and her son Lars can afford a home of their own near the upscale mountain town of Aspen.
He says things like, Mom, we've got a house.
To save the house, Jill must haul it 9 miles through the busy streets of Aspen to her lot just outside of town. But summer tourist season could slow them down.
We have all the traffic to contend with.
People can get pretty impatient really, really quick.
And if the house isn't moved soon, it'll be torn down. But the 2-story home is too large to move in one piece.
We have width issues.
The house must be cut into 6 separate pieces and pulled apart by cranes without destroying the fragile log walls.
It's tongue and groove. It's structurally milled so that they interlock with each other.
Hey, you wanna watch me? Back up a little bit.
One wrong move could send the logs rolling.
They could just fall apart.
We have to do lots of bracing, lots of protection on the upper part.
This house is nowhere near ready to go.
Just trying to keep going and keep a positive attitude.
More nails.
You got 2 there.
Crews have now spent weeks bracing up the walls of Jill's log house.
We had a lot of things to do, push this back quite a bit.
And they've missed their deadline to move out, pushing them deeper into tourist season.
A little emotionally draining. Yes, it's taking a toll.
Finally, the last wall is braced up.
Tomorrow they're gonna move the house. Yay, I'm excited.
But the riskiest part is ahead.
And we still have cutting to do in the morning.
What are we gonna do with this house today, Boo?
It's day 1 of the move.
We're moving my house.
But now Aspen is jam-packed with tourists.
It's crowded. The tourists are out and about, so you got traffic, and that will make it difficult for the house to move.
And the city will only allow them on the streets between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Let's get it done.
That's just 6 hours to cut, load, and move the first 3 pieces.
We're just hoping for 3, but if we can get more, that would be great.
But cutting the house cannot be rushed.
You can't just go through and just start whacking and butchering.
An inch can mean the world of difference, and we could lose a quarter of this house.
Good, ready to go.
The first piece is finally cut.
I'm excited.
And now half the master bedroom must be airlifted onto a trailer by crane.
The challenges are gonna be, is it all gonna hold? Is it gonna balance?
That doesn't look big enough to hold it.
Woo! My house is loose.
We have got
It's moving!
Just kind of hold it straight, right? Keep that back end away.
Awesome.
It's very big and it's coming towards us. It's flying, it's flying.
But lowering the bedroom onto the trailer could be the most dangerous maneuver yet.
A gust of wind could catch it and start spinning it out of control.
It's swinging, you can see it swing just a little bit.
We want to be able to bring it out pretty balanced so that when we set it on our trailer, it sets evenly.
Well, I do not want to be underneath this. I don't want to stand underneath this.
Come on, come on, who?
It takes all morning, but the first piece of the master suite is ready to go.
One down, but these next two are big, and that's gonna be tricky.
Time is running out,
This is gonna be tough getting this off.
It's just a lot more work than I ever would have thought.
and the second half of Jill's bedroom may never move out.
It looks like something in the front is holding.
Everybody was thinking that the second one was gonna be easier. We're moving a house.
It's high noon on the first moving day in Aspen, Colorado, and this house still hasn't hit the road. There are just 2 days to move Jill Winkler's fragile 2-story log house.
It's just a lot more work than I ever would have thought.
The house must move, and soon, or it'll be torn down to make way for a new home.
The more gets done today, the more comfortable I am. I just can't wait to see the first portion of the house placed on my foundation.
Jill got the house for free, and moving it is the only way she and her son Lars can afford to have a home of their own near the ritzy mountain retreat of Aspen.
He's proud that we're gonna have our new house.
The house must be cut into 6 separate pieces and pulled apart by cranes so it can be hauled 9 miles through the tourist-packed streets of Aspen to Jill's lot just outside of town.
We'll have 180 degrees of mountain views.
Half of the master suite has been cut and loaded. But to stay on track with the move, the rest of the master bedroom and the kitchen must hit the road today. But it's tourist season in Aspen.
That'll create quite the traffic jam.
The city will only allow the house on the road between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Start to turn. Come on, turn it. Turn it.
Finally, the first half of the master suite moves out.
Extremely excited to see it move.
But just 1 mile into the trip,
We're heading into the roundabout.
they must clear the famous Aspen roundabout without causing a traffic jam.
It's a tight road.
And taking such a tight turn puts the fragile log walls at risk.
The house is shaking a little bit, just kind of bouncing a little more than I thought. They went around the circle.
Finally, they can pick up speed.
We're on the highway. We are going 30 miles per hour.
But back at the house, the rest of the master suite still hasn't been loaded.
This is gonna be tough getting this off with all that siding there.
A little bit of difficulty with these top pieces because they're kind of intertwined with the rest of the house.
Back on the road, the first half of the master bedroom has only 1 mile left to go.
We got smooth sailing. The house is doing fine.
But a narrow country bridge is dead ahead,
That's going to be a tricky part.
and this piece may be too wide to squeeze past oncoming traffic.
I think we only have 20 feet of clearance.
But the tightest fit will be clearing the high arched walls.
That's going to be awkward. No problem at all. We had clearance on both sides.
The first piece makes it safely to Jill's lot.
It's part of my master bedroom. It held together, so that's good. 1 down, 5 to go. I hope we keep moving pieces all day long.
But there's a holdup.
Hold on now.
Looks like something
Hold on.
in the front is holding.
It's hung up right on that, okay? So we just need a long bar.
The rest of the master bedroom is stuck. And they're running out of time to be on the road.
We have to be off the road by 4, so we have basically an hour to get this up and loaded, tighten them out of here.
The piece finally pulls free.
Hold on! Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. This is the other half of the master bedroom.
But setting it down on the trailer could destroy the fragile log walls.
The more even it sets on the trailer, the less damage we're going to do.
Let's get this back timber pushed through.
All right, let's get this tied down as quick as we can, get you out of here.
The second half of the bedroom moves out. Less than a half hour left before deadline. But this piece of the house is slowing the move down.
It's front heavy.
We're a little bit unbalanced. Any kind of shaking can send the trailer over.
Everybody was thinking that the second one was going to be easier.
This one's just a little bit more nerve-wracking for me. I really don't want it to tip. So we're gonna have to take this one just a little bit slower.
But there are only 10 minutes left before they must be off the road. And they're still not out of Aspen.
Here comes our roundabout. We're gonna hit some traffic here. I'm just gonna take it nice and easy on the turns.
The master suite makes it safely through the roundabout. But there are 8 miles left to go.
Here's our bridge.
And the narrow bridge with the high arched walls is dead ahead.
We got about 3 minutes to get across this bridge. Here comes a little tight spot when we squeeze off the end of this bridge. And I'm just gonna hug the left.
Just in time, the rest of the master bedroom is in the clear.
Just made it in our curfew. That's good.
To stay on track with the 2-day move, the kitchen needed to move out today.
I would love to see more pieces being moved today.
But they've run out of time.
Hopefully tomorrow, the rest of the 4 pieces will move. My house on the lot, that's what I want to see.
But every delay puts the house closer to demolition.
I would love to see my house placed to keep me going.
And the rest of Jill's house hangs in the balance.
You put too much pressure on it, you can tear it up.
Look good, look good.
We're gonna be doing some cutting right down there.
It's day 2 of the move in Aspen, Colorado.
I would love to see my house placed. I need the visual of it there to reward me and keep me going.
And Jill Winkler and her son Lars must finish moving their 1,800 square foot log home today.
Lars is very proud of that Mom is moving a house and it's our house.
But so far, only the second-story master suite has been moved. And that leaves 4 more sections to be cut, loaded, and hauled 9 miles through the busy streets of Aspen by the end of the day.
I can't wait till you can look at your view off your deck.
I know it. It is going to be the coolest view.
And if the rest of the house isn't off the lot today, it'll be torn down to make way for a new house.
There's a lot of pressure here. All we can do is get it done as fast as we can.
But the kitchen and living room on the main floor will be the hardest yet to cut apart, lift, and move because of their interlocking log construction.
That section of the house is real logs. So it's going to be a pretty critical lift.
We don't want to damage the kitchen area. We want to leave the tile and the cabinets all intact. We'll bring it this way, too. Come this way, too.
Look good.
All right.
We're completely free from the back house now, Bill.
Let's get it down lower and see.
Yeah, we're good to come down?
Yep, you're good.
The kitchen survives the lift.
All right, let's put this on the trailer.
But there are 3 more sections left to go.
You can put too much pressure on it, you can tear it up. Got the 4th piece loaded.
Finally,
Right there, come on, just like that.
all 4 pieces of the house are off the lot and saved from demolition.
We're doing great.
But it's tourist season in Aspen. The streets are packed,
There's a lot of traffic.
and they must be off the road by 4 o'clock or risk a fine from the city.
I'll be over budget. It's in the roundabout right now.
The last piece of the house is out of Aspen.
This is great. Smooth sailing. Can you see him, Lars? Do you see him right there? We're just going down the highway with our house.
But there are still 8 more miles to go.
I'm gonna start picking up the speed here.
We have not slowed down for anything, which is great.
Until this narrow 2-lane bridge.
For cars, but not necessarily for a house moving down the road.
And what's worse,
We have one piece that's very big.
the bridge and the kitchen are the same width.
There's only inches to spare. It's pretty scary. It's a little bit tighter. I'm just gonna take it nice and slow.
There's a little leadway on the right-hand side.
It's all good.
Right on time, the last piece of the house is home free.
Everything's done, the house is here, we're placing it on the foundation. I did it, we did it.
And Jill and Lars finally have a home to call their own.
Well, this is permanent. This is Lars's home. He knows he'll live in it. He's very happy about that. So glad that this moment's here.